first strategy is to make sure that we provide as much data as possible, which we call in large language model language, we give context. Yeah? So the more specific context you provide, the lower the risk it will start hallucinating information. So when you prompt, it always makes sense to give as much information as possible upfront. A second important strategy is that you should provide explicit guardrails in your prompting. Yeah, so what you should do is to actually explicitly say, look, if you don't have the information, yes, so a second strategy is that we give the prompt explicit guardrails, and that means that we give it kind of rules where we make it explicit that if the large language model does not know the answer, it should not make up an answer. And in that way, we can avoid that it tries to please us. Yeah? So guardrails are an effective way in kind of reducing the likelihood that large language model try to please us. A third strategy is that we force the large language model itself to engage in critical thinking. And this we can do by means of what we call chain of thought prompting. So that means that in our prompt, we will explicitly mention that it should execute steps before giving us the final answer. And an important step we should formulate then is a kind of critical reflection step. And here you see some examples. Yeah? So this kind of sub-prompts can help us to kind of put the large language model in a mindset where it really becomes a critical thinker, and this will again reduce the risk of hallucination. Finally, it's very important to be always as specific as possible. So the more specific you are in your prompts, the lower the risk it will start up, try it. So a fourth important strategy is that you have to be as specific as possible in your prompt. So the more specific you are, the lower the risk that the large language model will try to fill in the blanks. So the more information you give, the better the output tends to be and the lower the risk of hallucination.